To trigger a workflow from Airtable in n8n, you start by opening your n8n workspace in your preferred web browser, signing in, and once the dashboard loads, clicking Create Workflow from the overview page to open a blank workflow editor. The first thing you should do is rename the workflow by clicking the default title at the top and typing something descriptive like Airtable Customer Trigger or Project Management Automation. This makes it much easier to identify later when you have multiple automations running. Now click the plus button on the canvas to add a node, search for Airtable Trigger and select it. This node is the starting point of your automation. Once activated, it continuously monitors your specified Airtable table and automatically launches the workflow whenever a new record is created or an existing one changes, which is fundamentally different from a manual trigger that requires you to run things yourself. Open the Airtable trigger node you just added, and you'll see a field for credentials. Click Create New Credential, select the Airtable credential type, and in a separate browser tab, open your Airtable account to generate or copy your personal access token. This is the recommended authentication method because it's more secure and gives you granular control over which bases and tables the token can access. Paste that token into the credential field in n8n, save it, and then select that same credential in the node. Your Airtable account is now connected to n8n, allowing the trigger to query your bases. Next, locate the base field, click the drop-down, and choose the specific Airtable base you want to monitor. Wait for the list to fully load if it doesn't appear instantly, and double-check you've selected the right one before moving on. Then, in the table field, pick the exact table within that base, such as leads, orders, or inventory, and verify your selection one more time to ensure the workflow monitors the correct data source. Now, review the available trigger settings. Depending on your version of n8n, you may see additional options like polling interval or whether to trigger on new records only versus updates. Confirm that your credential, base, and table are all correctly selected. The Airtable trigger uses a polling mechanism, meaning it checks the table at regular intervals for new or changed records, so it's reliable, but may introduce a slight delay of up to a few minutes depending on your n8n plan. To test the trigger, click Fetch Test Event or Listen for Test Event. This puts the node into a waiting state, so don't close the editor. Now go back to your Airtable base and create a new record in the table you selected. Return to n8n, and within a few seconds you should see the test event appear, showing the full data from that new record as a JSON object with fields like the record ID, creation timestamp, and all your column values. Carefully review this output. Understanding the structure of that JSON, for example, that your customer name might be under a nested object, is essential because every subsequent node will reference these exact field names when you map data into other apps like Gmail or Google Sheets. Once you see the test event worked, you can add another node after the Airtable trigger by clicking the plus on the connection line. Choose an action node for your desired destination, like Slack, where you might send a notification, or Google Sheets to add the row, or Gmail to send a welcome email. Open that node and map the fields from the Airtable trigger output. For instance, drag the field's email from the trigger output panel into the to field of an email node. This is where well-structured Airtable tables with clear column names pay off. If your field is called email address with a space, the expression in n8n will be something like n8n Blizzard, whereas a simple name like email makes it cleaner. Test this complete workflow by creating another new Airtable record. Then watch each node execute in the editor, verifying that data flows correctly through every step with no errors. If a node fails, click on it to see the input and output. Often the issue is a mismatched field name or a missing value, so adjust the mapping and test again. Click Save to preserve your configuration, then locate the int active toggle at the top of the workflow and switch it to active. The Airtable trigger now begins monitoring your table automatically in the background, and from this point forward, any new record that matches your trigger conditions will start the workflow without you needing to touch anything. To monitor future executions, open the Executions page from the left sidebar. Create several new Airtable records, and you should see new executions appear automatically. Open a few of them to review the trigger data, the path each workflow took through the nodes, the outputs at each step, and the final results. This is your dashboard for ensuring everything runs smoothly. Over the first few days after deployment, check this page regularly to catch any issues early. For extra reliability, consider adding a retry on fail setting or an error handler workflow that notifies you if a step fails, which is especially useful if this automation handles important business operations like order processing or lead assignment. Also, if you only want to process certain records, say only leads from a specific campaign, insert an if node right after the Airtable trigger to filter based on a field value, so your workflow ignores records that don't match your rules. You now have a fully functional, always-on bridge between Airtable and the rest of your app ecosystem, running automatically every time your database changes.